Good afternoon. We're here today in the Township of Irvington to talk about some of the projects that we need to have done here in our township. We have our state legislators here, our representatives here that's fighting the good fight for us down in Trenton to make sure the projects get complete. As you can see out here, some of the effects of the slow up and the projects being terminated here in the Township of Irvington and how it affects our residents. To talk more about that, I want to introduce our State Senator, Ronald Rice.
I want to thank Assemblyman Ralph Caputo, my colleague, Assemblywoman Cleopatra Tucker. This has been a very trying, session for us the last couple of years as relates to our budget, as you all know. There are so many dollars that we need in the system right now, not just in transportation, but also bail reform, which no one is talking about, the pension fund, and many, many others. And so we're going to have to bite some bullets to determine where the transportation trust money is coming from. But this is just one project. And the way the governor handled this, there are some dollars in the transportation trust fund, contrary to what people say. But the dollars are not being spent to continue the projects that's already in motion. This is one of those projects. In the 28th legislative districts, there are literally millions of dollars worth of projects dealing with New Jersey Transit, as well as the municipalities from Glen Ridge to Nutley, Bloomfield, Newark, Irvington, etc. And so hopefully, we'll move on this. It's my understanding, I'll let my colleagues speak, that the Senate President has met with the governor, introduced a new transportation trust fund package. I have not seen that package yet. My colleagues in the Assembly probably haven't seen the package yet. There's been disagreement between what a package should look like in terms of the funding on the Assembly side and the Senate side. I thought that the Assembly bill was much better in terms of concept. Although the numbers may not work, we may have to tweak them, but we're going to go back to the drawing board. So, Mayor, I want you to know that we're going to continue to stay together, work together on behalf of the residents of the Township of Irvington and those in the 20th legislative district. We're going to get this done.
We are working hard to make sure we can do what we can do to get the monies for this transportation fund back and the people back to work. As you can see, and you look around here, there's a public safety hazard in this community as well as other communities, and we need to be about compromise and working together, the Assembly, the Senate, and our governor, to make sure that we can bring the workers back to work ASAP so we can straighten out these issues. And while we work, and we can work on the plan of what we need to do, there's no sense of having our community in a disarray and having our people's lives in danger because of the governor's decision and some of the things that's not being able to be worked out. So we need to work together and make sure that we can get this issue resolved as soon as possible, because it's a safety hazard for the community to have to walk. You can't even walk on the sidewalks. They can't even get in their driveways properly. So we got to do what we can do to make sure that the work starts back ASAP.
Let me begin by saying that the action that was taken by the Assembly may not be perfect, but I believe in the name of in representing the Speaker in other areas that he's willing to compromise many of the situations that exist. For example, there's a bill in the Senate that did not move. Now we have President Sweeney that has met with the governor but has not met with the Speaker on this issue. I would suggest that both the Speaker and the President of the Senate sit and work out a working document that is based really on what we've already passed. Of course, we're open to that, for amendments. What's important is now to find a solution. We don't have a solution for our roads and bridges that are crumbling, and the safety of our residents are at risk. It's getting worse, and the Assembly is taking action. But we have a bill that is ready for the governor's signature, but we are open for changes. Hopefully that will be the attitude of the President of the Senate. I believe that if both the President of the Senate and the Speaker come to some kind of agreement and go to the governor, that some action will be taken. Understand why these projects are so important, aside from the safety issues, aside from the other issues that we can see optically. When a project like this is not completed and the mayor has to charge the local taxpayers for the cost of repairing and redoing these roads, it's an undue burden upon each individual resident. When this TTF is funded, that will take the pressure off the municipality because it'll be funded out of that fund. And that's throughout the state of New Jersey. plus all of the people that are out of work because of this. And because this thing is stalled for so long, it becomes so complicated because all the other major issues that Senator Rice spoke about interfere with our ability to get these things done. So we're here as a group. The Senate, the Assembly, and the 28th are unified, and we want to see all of these projects completed. In Essex County, we're talking about $13 million worth of projects that are either stalled or not going to be completed because of this work stoppage. So we want to see this this alleviated. That's a big burden upon the county taxpayers, the county tax rate, and also the rates of people that would have to pay locally. So we want to see that alleviated.
Continue to thank our elected officials as well as our mayor to continue fighting for our residents in the Township of Irvington. But to touch on some of the other areas that are affected by the stall of funding, this is just one example what the Assemblywoman touched on, safety hazards. We have this now throughout our major corridors on Springfield Avenue, Chancellor Avenue, Lyons Avenue. There was recently a project that was supposed to start actually on the 12th where they were going to replace the bridge underneath this corridor right here. So this corridor was supposed to be shut off as of today, and this is another project that's not going to take flight, and it affects our residents when this brook has an issue. So we're asking the state to look into whatever the differences that they have to get these projects back into rotation.
It's time for politicians to move out of the way and let the people serve the people. Here in Irvington, Irvington is moving forward. We are progressing, and this stops any progress that we've had. So we're here to say, and I'm glad our representatives, our state representatives are here to say that it's time to move on. People have to stop acting like petulant children and serve their communities.
You know, I try to be as practical as possible when we start talking about the residents in the Township of Irvington and the basic duties of our government. One, I want to say anything less than completing these projects and coming to a compromise is unacceptable, because the men and women in my township, the men and women around this county and around this state are the ones that suffer. And when I got involved in politics, it wasn't about playing games. It was about making sure we do the right thing for the right folks at the right time. This is the right thing to do. Our representatives are here. I'm here. We decided today that we would move forward unified in making sure we meet the challenge of not just for us, for our residents here in the Township of Irvington. It's important for everyone to know that if you're not serving the people, then you're not really serving. This is why we're here today. This is our motto, and this is going to be our motto going forward. We have several projects here in the Township of Irvington that have been stalled because of many different circumstances. But what I've learned is the average person in the community don't care about the bickering in between or the stalling or the frustrating temper tantrums. It's about the community, it's about growing, and it's about building.